I just got back from a really good trip in Dubai, and while I was out there, something clicked for me. And it wasn't in like a hype type of way. It wasn't in the sense of, oh, I've just watched a David Goggins reel, it's time to hit the oil rig for an hour before I get distracted again. It was a reminder for some of the things which I've subtly pivoted away from in the last few months, to be very honest with you. There was some drama in my life a few months ago, and I had a really hard time readjusting back into my routine and my reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. So if you felt slightly lost recently, if you felt a little bit misaligned, this is the perfect video for you, because there's nothing worse than waking up and knowing what you want, knowing what you should be doing, but feeling so misaligned to it. It shouldn't feel that way. It should actually feel effortless. It should flow to you. And don't wait until January to get that momentum back. Start right now. So the first lesson from Dubai is that there are serious levels to the game. It's been a while since I've been in rooms with people and I've felt really small. Now, I hang around guys who do really well, guys who do better than me in business, no doubt about it, but Dubai is a completely different game. I went to a boxing event there, and the reason I actually went to Dubai is to watch my friend Jack Hopkins have a fight. In that room, there was a ridiculous amount of wealth, a ridiculous amount of aura, swagger, status. Included in that room was Tristan Tate, which is someone who I actually really look up to. I love the way he dresses, I love the way he carries himself, I love how charismatic he is, I love how knowledgeable he is. And I'm not trying to glaze Tristan Tate, but he's someone who I admire. So seeing him in that room, seeing how he strutted through the crowd, being in the same smoking area as him, hearing how he speaks, how he carries himself, was really inspiring for me. And it's the first time I've felt small in a room. Not in a negative way or an insecure way, not in a threatening way, but in a very motivational way, because there's so much more work to be done. No doubt about it, guys. I've done very well for myself. I've come out of hell. I've come out of the trenches, right? A few years back, I was clinically depressed with anxiety. I couldn't even make eye contact with people, let alone talk to them, let alone make money. So seeing how far I can potentially take this in someone like Tristan Tate and sharing that space in that room with him was awesome, because it shows me that there's still so much more room to grow. Because you can have this vague idea as to what's possible when you watch people online, when you watch me online even, maybe you're back in the UK and you're wanting to get started on your journey. The reason why one of the first things I recommend my students who join my academy to do is to save up a bit of money and take a flight out to Thailand and come hang out with us, is because it shows you what's possible. Even if the first time it doesn't go your way, maybe you have to get a flight home after a few months. You go back with that fire in your heart, knowing what's possible. You have that vision that you're actively working towards. Most of my students who catch that flight, they actually do make it work, which is awesome. The guys who get the flight home, they end up back here within a few months anyway, and then they've got it. And that's what matters. It's not a race. Until you see it with your own two eyes, until you experience it, it doesn't fully click. So being in those rooms, around those people, collapse the vague idea that you have in your mind and make it a reality. A reality which you can steer your ship towards very clearly. So, lesson 1, put yourself in rooms where your ego gets checked, because that's where growth actually happens. Lesson 2 is to stop pleasing people and start filtering your circle a lot more. Now, this is something I've done on a smaller scale, in the sense of, well, if they're spending all their time playing video games or doing drugs, then filter those guys out. But then there's levels to this, and it's something that you continually have to do as you continue to grow. Because you have people who, they might be making money, they might have some success in some areas, but the reality is they're just not very aligned to you. I need to stop giving as much of a fuck about pleasing other people. And this has a direct correlation with my boxing training. I'm actually training boxing right now. I've found that the more that I learn how to fight and how to throw hands, the less of a fuck I give in terms of telling people how I feel. And it's not just a physical thing, it's the psychological benefits that boxing gives you. The more competent I've become, the more confident I become, and the less tolerance I have for things and people who I no longer align with. You've also got to be careful who you hang out with, the people you associate with. While I was in Dubai, my friend obviously had a fight. He won. There was some controversy around it, but there was this guy who I have sort of collaborated with in the past, and he put this Instagram story up. Just mad hater, jealousy energy. And I think in the past, I would have just looked beyond it and been like, you know, it's okay, you can be wrong sometimes. But I was just like, you know what? What the fuck do I have to gain for hanging out with someone who carries himself like that? Someone who will sit on the sidelines and criticize a friend of mine who went in and put his fucking life on the line and had a fight in front of a massive audience. And why is it in the past I've actually collaborated with this person, helped them out in some ways? Because whether it's fair or not, the people you associate with and hang out with is a direct reflection upon you. So me associating and even collaborating with this guy, people are just going to start thinking, well, Sam's got this like, you know, weird hater energy, this jealousy energy, because this guy does, and Sam hangs out with this guy. The uncomfortable truth is you have to continually curate who you hang out with. This isn't just when you start out, oh, I'm going to stop playing video games, I should probably stop hanging about people who play video games. It continually scales, much like anything else in life. You're going to have guys who you thought were about it, and then you find out that they're not. The lesson is, be ruthless with your alignment. You're not obligated to remain accessible to people who are no longer aligned with you and who you are. And where I'm going, there's absolutely no room for hate or jealousy for winners. When I'm in a room full of winners, I'm inspired. I'm not obligated to try and tear them down because I'm deeply insecure. And that's a lesson in itself. A lesson inside of a lesson, my friend. Lesson 3 is that momentum is absolutely everything. Now, I already mentioned that I kind of struggled with getting back realigned after a lot of drama in my life. And when you're drifting like that, you're oftentimes dragged into things which are what I like to call momentum killers. And it can happen very slowly, very subtly, you know, just small little things adding up on a day-to-day basis. It can also be bigger things, more obvious things, like going out and drinking, for example. My issue is what I realized in Dubai, because I spent more time in isolation there as well, I spent more time alone, is that I say yes to too many things, too many people. I actually spend a bit too much time being social. Now, that's a double-edged sword, because I have been on the extreme end before where I have been zero social and I start to lose my sanity. So there's a real fine balancing act that needs to be done. But when you're indulging in these momentum killers, these small invisible things which you need time in isolation to think about, reflect on, it's those small things which will make you wake up in the morning and think, what the fuck am I even supposed to be doing today? You know, what's the point in what I'm doing? And then you start drifting. And while you're drifting, you're going to continue to do that. And you end up in this very negative cycle. And that's where I was until this Dubai trip. And when you're in that state, everything becomes way harder than it should be. You wake up feeling misaligned, and then because you're misaligned, you're more likely to be distracted. And then when you're distracted, you're more likely to drift further off the path. So all of your momentum in your life, your business, whatever you're working on, you're building, it slowly bleeds out without you ever noticing. For me, Dubai was that interrupt, and there's a good reason why I like doing a little trip every 2 months or so, because it does give me time to take a step back from what I'm doing, my routine, and reflect on what I'm doing well and what I'm not doing well. And it's a good time for me to pattern disrupt, because changing your environment makes that very obvious for you, and it allows you to realign, readjust. And I'm only able to do that because of video editing. Make money on your laptop, editing some videos, live out in an awesome, ambitious city like Bangkok, Thailand, and then once every 2 months, fly off to an island in Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, wherever, rip some motorbikes, spend some time alone in isolation, readjust, realign, come back to the city with a new sense of purpose. And if you want to learn how to do exactly that, then check out the link in the description right now. The 4th lesson is to talk less and start executing a lot more. What I found myself doing is I would talk about what it is that I'm going to do. What that does is you get some of the social credit, social credibility, the social credit score, if you will, for doing those things, for achieving those things. The problem is you're actually stripping yourself of the reward of doing the thing before you've done the thing. For example, for about 2 years now, I would mutter to my friends, oh, at some point, eventually, I will have a fight, a Muay Thai fight or a boxing fight, whatever it may be. And for 2 years, I have not had that fight, right? Because when I would tell my friends, oh yeah, I'm going to have a fight, I would feel kind of good about myself. Like, oh yeah, I'm cool like you guys. I also would have a fight, you know? And you kind of lose that edge to go into the boxing gym, to train hard, to enter a fight camp, because you already have the social recognition from people who you look up to. You have that status. It's not real status though, because you've not actually done the thing. And therein lies the issue. You get that little bit of social validation, that little bit of approval. And then once you've done that, you've taken a part of the reward away from actually doing it. The fruit that doing the thing would bear shrinks. It's no longer as worth it. The rule is very simple going forward into 2026. Do the thing, talk about it afterwards. You don't lose credit by staying quiet about it. You multiply it for when you deliver. All in all, my Dubai trip was incredible. All of these lessons has led me to one solid conclusion, and that is 2026 is going to be a year of well-rounded masculine excellence. Because it's no good being in really good shape if you're completely broke. There's no good in making a bunch of money if your health is falling apart. It's no good in being insanely skilled at what you do if you're scared to speak and if you're scared to lead. There's no strength in that level of imbalance. Real masculine excellence is well-rounded. That's why people like Tristan Tate inspire me, and why he inspires many people, and why when he enters a room, heads turn. It's not because he just has a bunch of money. It's because he has a bunch of money and he dresses really well. He's incredibly charismatic. He's a chick magnet. He has excellent relationships. He's very well spoken. He's very knowledgeable. He is well-rounded. Strength, skill, money, presence, discipline. If what I've talked about in this video resonates with you, I would strongly encourage you to check out the Academy of Excellence, because this is exactly what we do. You'll learn how to make money online on your laptop through video editing, which will give you the freedom to travel the world, farm dad law, develop new skills, talk to beautiful women, mix with people who are levels above you, invest in a good gym, invest in a fighting coach. You will get the freedom to actually live. Inside of the Academy of Excellence, it is triple XP every single day. A network of men who are building a real, tangible skill, printing cash from their laptops, and becoming well-rounded, excellent men. If you want to master a monetizable skill and gain the freedom to actually do these things rather than being answerable to a boss and going into an office and being stuck in a city which you don't like, which doesn't reward you for actually being ambitious, check out the first link in the description. Join us. Every single one of my students has the same origin story. They joined, they leveled up, they developed a sick skill, they quit their jobs, they booked their flight out to Thailand, and their lives change. This is what we do. Check it out, first link in the description. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you don't wait until 2026 to actually start taking action on this stuff. It's now or never, baby. Let's fucking do this. I forgot my outro salute.